In this most blackest of voids, we separate the winners from the losers, the champions from the other losers, where elite athletes rise above the has-beens and never-wases, becoming elite gods among men, joining the upper echelon where they look down upon the pitiful refuse.
What is going on down here? Why are all the lights off?
Babe, I'm trying to look cool.
Nobody thinks you're cool. How long are you going to be doing this? Our show starts in 10 minutes.
DVR it!
I'm not waiting around for you to finish playing. I need to know what is going to happen after last week's cliffhanger.
But this would go a lot faster if you helped out.
Do I have to be on camera?
Just your leg.
Fine, but this better not take all night.
Now the assignment's like 5 minutes or less.
Assignment?
Let's do this! Flexibility refers to a tissue's ability to lengthen, a critical factor in a joint's range of motion. Specifically, we're talking about a muscle's flexibility, as lengthening short and overactive muscles is critical in returning the human movement system to optimal function, particularly in regards to force coupling and length-tension relationships. And though there are many techniques for training flexibility, today we're talking about Proprioceptive Neuromuscular Facilitation, or PNF, which utilizes passive stretching and active isometric contractions to increase flexibility. PNF preserves force production, meaning that strength is maintained following this technique, allowing it to be incorporated into a general warm-up. My wife has graciously offered to help out with today's presentation. Say hi, wife.
Hi.
PNF comes with a few options, but the intention for all of them is the same, to utilize muscular contractions to manipulate particular proprioceptors to lengthen a muscle beyond its current limit. To perform PNF, start by holding the limb at the end range of motion allowed by the muscle you are stretching. Following this passive stretch, have the athlete isometrically contract that muscle as you provide resistance. Afterwards, bring the limb to the newly available end range of motion and hold that in a passive stretch. Optionally, between the contraction and the final stretch, you can have the athlete perform an isometric contraction of the antagonist. Let's try it. Time works differently here in the void, but in general terms, we will hold this passive stretch at the point of mild discomfort in our athlete's hamstring for 20 to 30 seconds. Now, using an isometric contraction of the agonist, she will drive her leg against the resistance I provide for 7 to 15 seconds. Here is where we can add the optional isometric contraction of the antagonist for 10 to 20 seconds. In this case, my wife will flex her hip. Finally, a 20 to 30 second passive stretch at the new end range of motion. This can be performed for 2 to 4 repetitions. Proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation is often compared to static stretching, and although both techniques are effective at increasing range of motion, PNF has, on occasion, been shown to produce greater improvements in flexibility. As mentioned earlier, PNF has been demonstrated to preserve muscle strength, something that cannot be claimed about static stretching. PNF has been studied for decades, and the research is showing no signs of stopping anytime soon. From flexibility to rehabilitation and performance to function, here's a sample of some of the latest research. PNF takes advantage of autogenic and reciprocal inhibition to increase muscle flexibility. With autogenic inhibition, the muscular contraction triggers Golgi tendon organs to detect tension and send a signal to relax the muscle. Via reciprocal inhibition, contraction of the antagonist muscle causes the agonist to relax. This is a core component of motion, but in PNF, it allows for the relaxation and further stretch of the agonist muscle. PNF is great as part of a warm-up or even dedicated flexibility training session, but it also appears to have a prophylactic effect, as incorporating it into a training program seems to reduce muscle damage caused by plyometric exercises, an observation that may translate to other training modalities that induce muscle damage. PNF has applications beyond flexibility training. A recent study found that 4 weeks of PNF can improve balance and reduce spasticity in patients diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Possibly due to its promotion of multiplanar joint movement, PNF can increase active and passive range of motion and improve joint function in patients with osteoarthritis. It is easy to narrow our focus to exercise and sport, but PNF is a cornerstone of rehabilitation. In fact, PNF may be more effective than other techniques at improving functional strength of swallowing muscles. There is no one training method that is superior to all others in all conditions, but PNF has a long history of success and has demonstrated countless times that it is very effective at increasing flexibility. Whether it is the best choice in all situations seems to be a debate that may never conclude, but should it feel the need to prove its worth, it is welcome to test its mettle here in the final arena, where champions are forged and failures are cast out, awash in their own misery, bathed in their own despair. Here, the cream rises to the top.
Are you done yet?
Is a champion ever done? Can you ever be finished training? Is there ever an end in sight?
That's it. I'm watching it without you.
No, babe, wait. No, seriously. I want to see it. Don't watch it without me. I want to know what happens.